So you are welcome. This is Grace. And so I want to talk about one common food that a lot of us are enjoying. But there are a few things we need to talk about it, which may not be familiar with a lot of us. And that food is the fresh tomatoes. Yes, the fresh tomatoes is a common food, vegetable, I call it, but some people may want to call it fruit. But that's not the point of concern right now. What I specifically want to share about this food is something that a lot of people are not even aware of, even up till now. Now, most of us consume the tomatoes for various reasons. Some don't even know why they are consuming it. Yes, but I want to highlight a few things, reasons why you should also begin to take it into your diet, and a few cautions also that we need to take. You know why we need to take cautions about certain foods? Remember, I told us that there is no food that when consumed in excess that does not give up or give off some ugly effects or negative effects. I'm talking of natural foods this time around. And this tomatoes is also one of such foods. Now, one may be tempted to consume certain foods in excess, either because you harvested it from your farm, maybe somebody gifted you as a gift, or maybe it's the season and the price is relatively low, or for various other reasons. Temptations could be there to consume it more than we should. And a good number of times also, you will notice that even when you are consuming some foods, some like this, and certain things start happening to you, majority of us do not even consider or stop to look at our foods when we start having certain symptoms. I have told us more times than not that we should always look at the cause first. Don't just rush for remedy, which is a normal behavior of a good number of us. When you start having symptoms, unpleasant symptoms, the best thing to do most times is not to rush and start looking for for remedies, over-the-counter medications on how to stop it. A simple look into your diet could just be all that you need to stop those symptoms. Because this is actually what I do. And as I told you before, and I repeat again, or rather remind you that food is our medicine, but moderation will always remain our rule here. There is no food, there is no ailment that comes your way, no symptom. Remember that symptoms are just your body talking to you, telling you something. So you don't have to ignore them. And so when you start seeing some symptoms around you, look into your diet. Maybe you have overindulged in certain foods. Remember, or maybe you are even deficient in certain foods. Again, let me also remind us again that most things we call diseases, yes, sometimes are just deficiencies. The body telling you, I'm lacking in this nutrient or in this particular mineral. Deficiency, mineral deficiencies, or toxic overload. Sometimes it is even excess of one particular nutrient against the other. And then the body begins to speak that I'm having too much of this particular nutrient or food. But most times we just ignore it and start running for over-the-counter medications. And so I want to talk about tomatoes. And I don't want to assume, remember we shifted this particular life last time. And I want to show us a fresh tomatoes. Yes, it is very common here to get tomatoes, and there are different shapes, different sizes, Some are, look at it. This is a fresh tomatoes. Look at it. A fresh tomatoes. Sometimes you get the ones that are, these ones are soft, extremely soft. But when it's slightly hard, it's best that way. This one is hard a little. So the best way to get the best is those ones that are firm when you touch it, when you are looking for fresh tomatoes. So you don't have to look for the ones that are extremely soft. This is fresh tomatoes. It's one of the low-calorie vegetables. I'm already telling you some of the benefits. Low-calorie foods are great for you when you are managing ailments. This is one of them. It's one of the few foods that come with red color. Red color. Now, you don't have to joke with colors in your food. Colors have a lot of meanings and a lot of special benefits to offer to us. This is a red food, a red fruit, a red vegetable. It has benefit. And one of the uncommon benefits is the presence of that nutrient called lycopene. It's particularly good for those managing prostate health, or you want to strengthen your prostate. This is one of the vegetables you should be taking. If your body is getting very, very flabby, soft, it's one of the anti-aging signs when the collagen, that protein, collagen, is reducing in your body. And you want to make your skin begin to look firmer. This is one of the foods you should be including in your diet moderately. Mark the word moderately. If you are deficient in the antioxidant vitamin C, this is one of the foods, the fresh tomatoes. Remember that I'm here to tell you the uncommon things that nobody may have told you about this, the best things, way to enjoy it, and in particular, what to avoid about fresh tomatoes. Yes, it's a great food, it's a great vegetable, and you can pair it with a lot of other foods. It is one of those foods that are high in antioxidants. Yes. Remember that you can get it in form of canned tomatoes. Some of you haven't seen a fresh tomato like this. They only know about the canned tomatoes when it's already processed and put in cans. And remember, I don't consume those ones in sachet. I don't consume those ones in tins and cans. And I have also warned my followers. I've stopped consuming canned tomatoes and tin tomatoes several years ago, more than 12 years. I've stopped it. And stopping it, I didn't stop it because somebody advised me to stop it. I did not also stop the canned tomatoes and the sachet tomatoes because I read it somewhere. I didn't stop it because a doctor advised me to stop it. I stopped it because my body gave me very bad signals whenever I take it. And those years I was actually struggling to heal of a lot of ailments. It's a long time ago. And the moment I stopped the canned tomatoes, it is one of the time, it is also the very time I began to see positive results in my body's response. And this is one thing a good number of you should be doing. Always listen to your body. Some of you are very good or fond of saying, my doctor said this, a friend said this, I read this online, I read this offline, internet said this, Google said that. No. It is not to say that you shouldn't read or ChatGPT or whatever. That is not to say that you should not ask Google anything or go to ChatGPT or listen to your doctor or whoever. But my dear, the best advisor, not only best, the most accurate advisor, you know who it is? It's your own body. It cannot go wrong. Why? Because our body makeup are different. The blood groups are different. The genotypes are different. You may have noticed that sometimes what may be good for someone else, someone else may not be good for you. And that is why it's important to always pay attention to what your body is saying. That was exactly how I came about taking out the canned tomatoes out of my own diet so many years ago. Not based on doctor's advice or online or whatever advice, but what the body said. And I want to also share a few things you should also avoid. Apart from avoiding the canned tomatoes, when it's in cans, when it's in sachets, as much as possible, avoid them. Avoid them. Avoid them, particularly if you are managing some ailments. If you are managing ailments, if you are trying to, okay, you are welcome, you're welcome to the house. Cara Grace, you're welcome. This is Nigeria. Let me know where you are writing or speaking from. And so let me know where you are commenting from. Now, I want to say that you do not have to wait until a sickness or an ailment grows to full blown before. From Scotland, I'm glad to have you. I'm glad to have you, my friend from Scotland. Yes, you're welcome to the house. So you do not have to wait until that symptoms, those body signals, grows into full-blown disease before you do something. Now, I have had to reverse a whole lot of ailments all these years just by merely reversing or making some changes in my diet. Early changes. Once you, suspect or your body begins to behave differently, begins to say something contrary, you begin to have some negative symptoms or signals, my dear, the first and best thing to do is to first look into your diet. You see this, our mouth. Check what you have been eating lately. Whenever I want to chat with people who want to have their ailments reversed naturally, the first question is one, your age. You must know your age, because age has a lot of roles to play. Then after your age, I need to also know what you've been eating lately. Now some diseases come as a result of your age. Now, a good number of them, what you eat, a higher number of them, what you eat. The lifestyle, exercise, other things are there. But what goes into your mouth? Most times, it what kills people, especially seniors. What you eat, either what you are eating or what you are not eating, most times, 90% or more is what also causes the death of a lot of people. And so we must be careful and always pay attention to what our body is saying. Remember, what brought about this slight digression is based on this very fruit, these tomatoes. Why I stopped the canned tomatoes. And it is one of the ways, one of the things you must avoid about fresh tomatoes. Now, there is another thing you also need to avoid, about tomatoes. There's one more thing that nobody told me, I didn't read it online, that I discovered. And why I decided to go live on this fruit is because, or rather, was because I actually overheard someone sharing on the media that when you grind your tomatoes, in order for you to get some results, you have to keep it. You have to keep it, allow it to settle, give you some time. But I'm here to inform you, all my subscribers, and those who are yet to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe if this is your first coming this way, because Grace Animal is my name, and what I teach on this channel is exactly how you can take back your health, how you can recover, how you can regain and retain your health through natural foods. And how do I get this information? Based on what exactly has been working for me. Those things that kept me away from hospital for several years. Those have been keeping me hale and hearty for all over the years, avoiding antibiotics and most of the over-the-counter medications. These are the things I teach here on this channel. And if you are one that wants to regain your health, you want to avoid frequent visits to the hospital, you want to stay in good health, relying on natural foods, then this is exactly where you should be. Because here, food is our medicine here at Healthy Food Place, but there is a clause there. Moderation is our rule. And so one thing you need to avoid about the fresh tomatoes is about consuming it as a canned food. BPA and other things that leaches from the cans are found in the tomatoes when they are put in cans. And sadly, this is actually the most commonly consumed foods, public in markets. They are the ones that a lot of people are buying in large amount because of the ability to keep it for longer, ability to keep it without spoiling, because a lot of us are going for convenient and convenient foods. Yes, but if you want to avoid diseases, you want to stay healthy naturally, you must, as much as possible, reduce, because it is almost impossible, difficult to completely eliminate convenience. We all need convenience to some extent. But if you try to live mostly on the convenient foods, food that are easily preserved, food that can stay longer on the shelf, my dear, it may be that you are not ready for maintaining healthy body naturally, because my secret, one of my secrets is not to rely on convenient fast foods. Those foods that you can store for longer are not the best. When the food is preserved, apart from through fermentation, if when the food is either through using the cans, the sachets, or other means, and kept for years, they usually add some preservatives and other additives to make it easy to be preserved for longer shelf life. And so this tomato is one of such foods. As much as you can, if you can take them out of the canned one version, out of your diet, you may likely notice an improvement, especially if you are going through things like joint pains or arthritis. You will notice an improvement if you can eliminate or reduce the canned tomatoes. And this also has to do with a lot of canned foods, not just the canned tomatoes, but today's focus is on the canned tomatoes, especially for seniors. And if you can also teach our children as much as possible to embrace the fresh version of the canned tomatoes. And that is also not to say that the canned foods, there are a handful of foods that I consume, even though they are in cans, but occasionally, because once they are put in cans, they are no longer in the best and healthiest state for you as a health conscious person. Thank you for those likes. Thank you. As you like it, help me also to share this message. So what I'm saying is that there is another thing about the fresh tomatoes that I need to highlight, which you need to know. Those of you who, are lovers of good health, you don't like medication, don't like running around from one hospital to the other, it's the life I've been living. And that's exactly the life I want my subscribers, all those who are my fans, I want them to live that life because it is achievable. Yes, if you have been on drugs, it is possible. It is achievable for you to begin to enjoy a healthy body again, even if you are more than 60 years, like those of us. And so, number two thing that you need to avoid as much as you can is avoiding keeping the tomatoes, the fresh tomatoes, after grinding it. As much as possible, avoid keeping it for longer. That is the second point. Second thing you must avoid. Why? This is also something, okay. So let's, hey, God of mercy. Say, you're welcome, Namdaya. You're welcome. From where are you commenting from, please? Sorry, I was trying to write this question and it's off now. So you just bear with me while we go on. So I'm talking on the vegetable, tomatoes, fresh tomatoes, and this is it again. For those of us who are just joining my life, this is the fresh tomatoes. Yes. In case you are not familiar, you have been consuming only the canned tomatoes. This is fresh tomatoes from Kenya. You are welcome, Namdaya. I'm glad to have you right in the house. You're welcome to my life. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to like it, to like the life, and to share it. So you are welcome from Kenya. And right now I'm talking on the fresh tomatoes and the two things to avoid. I've talked of one of the things you should avoid about tomatoes, and the second one I'm talking is another thing I learned personally, not online, not through Google, not through someone, Chat GPT, not through other means, but practically discover this thing myself by consuming it. And that thing is avoiding storing your ground or fresh grounded tomatoes without in the refrigerator. It's not on fire. It's not in the refrigerator, but you have grounded it already. Do not allow it to stay long after grinding because it's going to lose its taste. That taste, that sweetness that it comes naturally with, you're going to lose it. This is something a lot of people are not even aware of because some of you are cooking with bouillon cubes. You are cooking with artificial taste enhancers. And if you are still cooking with those things, you need to desist from them because they are secretly and gradually, they may be secretly destroying your health. It doesn't happen suddenly. It's something that happened. I've also put all these things away from my diet several years now. And so you do not have to continue with them. So this second one, if you are someone that depends on bouillon cubes to bring out the natural taste in your meal, artificial taste enhancers and similar flavors like artificial flavors, you may not be able to find out this particular aspect of the tomatoes, that after grinding your tomatoes, do not leave it out. Do not allow it to sit for too long. Do not allow, if you can put it on immediately to What? No, it's a source of water. We never talk about it. It's high in water. It contains water. It's one of the weight. You want to strengthen your heart health, low calorie, to make your skin beautiful, to firm up your skin, to improve your sight, to your gut health, several things. But then there are some ugly effects called the nightshade family. Some people are particularly sensitive to nightshades, and tomatoes is one of them. And so you need to be very, very also sensitive to know what your body is saying. You know why I say you have to be sensitive? I want to remind us again, as I said, you are doing it based on what Google said. You're doing based on what ChatGPT said. No. Grind your fresh tomatoes. Don't allow it to sit. As much as you can, the faster, the better for you. Or else, you can temporarily store it in your refrigerator for a short time if you have any delay. But once you grind it, no, another food that behaves like that, there are several foods that behaves this. They take most of these things for granted. Foods like onions are most powerful food. Some of you do not realize that when you break up these foods, they begin to interact with oxygen. They begin to interact with oxygen. Sometimes the original structure of that food could change either for good or for worse. They could changes when you break it. And that is the garlic. Now, you remember that when you break the garlic into pieces, the allicin, that potent content called allicin, that makes the garlic to stand out amongst most of the spices, it begins to come out. It becomes more powerful, more potent, as we are told, and you can even feel it yourself. So in that sense, thank you. You're welcome. Good afternoon, Jensen. Let me know where you're chatting from. I am saying that when you open up some foods, don't just open your foods and expose them and keep them to be used later. It may not be the same thing that it was after you break it and keep it, allow it to interact with oxygen. It changes for good or for worse. For good, it changes better or bad. Most of them bad. The only garlic that I've heard or read and that I've felt while using that seem to, not to go back or give up negative. But a lot of foods, a lot of you are not aware. Not much talk, not much thing is being talked about how the fresh tomatoes. Okay, from France. Oh, my lovely friend from France, you're welcome. Thank you for coming to my life. Thank you for coming in, and I want to appreciate you. If you can also share my life and ask your question if you have any. Drop your comment if you have any aspect that you think is bothering you or you need me to talk about. You can drop it in the comments. I'll be glad to do so. So I'm saying that a lot of these, our fresh natural foods, they change. And if you have not read anything about the fresh tomatoes, but practically using it, I have personally discovered, not recently, but this is something I have been doing so many years, and I thought it's time to also let my subscribers know it, because a lot of people are cooking with bouillon cubes, cooking with artificial taste enhancers, and as a result, you cause taste, you input taste inside the food without allowing the natural taste. Some of you are not aware that tomatoes is one of the foods that makes your fruit, that vegetable that makes your food taste great. It is one of the sweet foods like onions. It's not only onions, even the cinnamon is called the sweet cinnamon. It makes your food to taste good. Have you not wondered that even garlic and ginger makes your food taste great? Now, if you want to enjoy healthy body like I am enjoying, and stop living your life on drugs and medications, you must have to embrace this food. They come with their natural taste. And fresh tomatoes is one of the foods that when you grind it or blend it, use it right away. I mean, use it in a hurry. That's what I do. If you want to get the full benefits, use it in a hurry, please. Don't grind your fresh tomatoes. Immediately you finish grinding it, start cooking or boiling immediately. Remember that when you cook a lot of foods, the vitamin C and most of the antioxidants are lost. But then, the good news about the fresh tomatoes is that it seems to be even stronger when you cook it. You cook it, the lycopene is still intact. You cook it, the antioxidants are still intact. When you boil it and cook it, the taste is still intact, especially if you boil it immediately. Now, what I'm telling you, if you need to find it out, it will be better if you go and try it out yourself. If you cook it immediately, you grind it, you're going to enjoy that taste and it's going to be retained. Even if you want to store it as a stew or whatever later, it's going to taste great. But once you grind it and keep it without cooking it, without refrigerating it, after about 1 hour, I don't have any scientific measurement for it, but after a longer period like 1 hour, there is no more taste. It doesn't taste good unless you want to import your bouillon cubes and other artificial taste enhancers. But if you want to rely on the natural taste that comes with the fresh tomatoes, the best way to use it is use it immediately. This is something I found out myself, and I am sharing with you, especially if you are one that is relying on foods, or you want to start taking foods as your medicine, just like myself. You want to start relying on the healing powers that comes with natural foods. You need to eat them the right way. You need to prepare them the right way. Some of them, a good number of them, when you break and expose them, things have changed. They're no more the same. And I gave you some instances of foods like that. So many of the natural foods, once you bring them out, either from the tree, from the branch, things are changing already. I mean, changes are taking place without you knowing it. Now, are you also aware that the dry ginger and the fresh ginger, they don't contain the same nutrients? You can go and do your own search. It's something I know. They are not the same. The components are different. The same thing with the garlic when you cut it. Same thing with the onions. But nobody has talked about, I've not heard anybody talking about the fresh tomatoes until I personally, several years ago, noticed that once I grind the fresh tomatoes. Now, I want you to comment. Have you ever ground your tomatoes and kept it waiting to use to cook your meal? A difference in the taste? If you have, drop it in the comment. I would like to also hear from you. Have you ever ground your tomatoes? Okay, somebody is outside. Now let me know. Okay. Namda. Okay, you say yes. Yes, I want you to practically drop the comment whether you notice a change in the taste, just like I said, or it still tastes great. And why I said sometimes it may still taste great, taste wonderful, maybe because a good number of you are using the bouillon cubes and other taste enhancers. So I want you, Namda Giwoy, so please let me know your experience when you grind your tomatoes and keep it for some time before using it to cook. Just, I want to hear from you. I'm waiting, or any other person that wants to say something about that or a little outside it. I'll be waiting, I'll be reading your comment. I'm waiting about the tomatoes. So I'm waiting. Namda Wiyo. So I'm waiting for your response on your experience with fresh tomatoes. Your experience, or you have not used it before. If you haven't used it, you can also say it in the comments. If you have been using only tin tomatoes. Oh, wonderful. Now, you said the taste is different. So how does it taste better, or I don't understand. Does it taste better or? Yes, thank you for acknowledging that the taste is different. I'm glad for that response. But what do you see? What's your own thinking about that difference in the taste? Because that's exactly what I'm talking about now. Because whenever we open up certain foods, sometimes we just open it, something like onions. I've said it before. When you open your onions and cut it like other food and leave it, it's poisonous. This one is not Google said, or it's poisonous because it's attracting all the germs in the environment. When you want to cut your onions, you put your hand right on the pot while on the fire and start cutting it and allowing the onions to go right inside the soup, or you cut it right using whatever gadget you want to use, cut it immediately and pour it very fresh, because those things that makes you to shed tears are the very potent part of the onions. So we're talking about the tomatoes. So what is your own view or thought when you see that the taste has changed? What do you think about that? I'm still waiting. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your contribution. I'm waiting. Oh, thank you. You are so fast to drop your response. Yes, the fresh one tastes better. Yes, ma'am, the taste is different. So that's what I'm trying to tell us. Thank you so much for that response. After grinding my tomatoes, I left it for 1 hour. It got swollen and tastes sour. Wow. I think we are really hitting the point. So we do not. This Bridget Waime. Where are you chatting from, Bridget? Please drop your location. I want to know where everyone is chatting from. I have heard my sister from France. I've heard my other sister from Scotland. I want to get where Bridget Waime is chatting, is responding from, and it got swollen. Now, what I'm telling you about most of the foods that we consume, I mean, talking of healthy food, this is healthy food place. The point we must understand about this food is that once you open the food, some of these healthy natural foods, especially when they are not in the dried measure, they are not in the dried form, they are fresh, you don't have to open them and leave them to begin to interact with oxygen around. Because what you get at the end of the day may be different from what you are looking for. So this is what my sisters here have already confirmed, that it is different, and the other sister, Bridget, is saying it is sour. So Bridget, I'm still waiting for your response, where you are chatting from, where you are writing from. So you don't have to ignore all these things. So that some people just ate certain food and something is happening to them, and they will be saying they will be wondering something where what exactly is wrong. Particularly these healing foods, I call them. Healing foods like onions. Don't ever, in case you have not heard it before, if this is your first time, don't forget to subscribe to my healthy food playlist. And remember this particular point. Whenever you are cooking with your onions, don't buy the extra large onions. I will have shown you one onions now. Maybe when next I come and talk about onions. So because another important kitchen spice that helps to bring out the natural taste. This food, if you use it, it makes a food to taste great. It is naturally sweet. Just like cinnamon helps your food to taste good. Ginger and garlic. Onions is almost number one in terms of taste and making the thing very sweet. So, but most of such foods with natural sweeteners, when they come in fresh versions like this, my dear, the best way to get your benefits, the health benefits, is to make sure you use it immediately. Start cooking it. After cooking, you can now go and store it. Cook it immediately so that you will not lose the nutrients. So I'm waiting for Bridget Uwaeme to let me know where you're commenting from. And I'm also seeing your response. Vivian Jensen, I think she has told me where she's commenting from. Vivian says she's from France. So I'm also saying that this is one of the foods you should be enjoying to help you make your collagen, make your body firmer, to help reduce early signs of aging. Now, I need more people in the house to tell me 2 reasons why you like fresh tomatoes. That's what we talk. 2 reasons. I will talk my own. After I hear from you, I will talk my own. 2 reasons, only 2 reasons why you are including it in your diet. And let me also know if you have been consuming tin tomatoes before now. Please, I need your answers to this question because we want to get results. Some of you are consuming it, and it may be the reason why those ailments are still there. They never go away, and it's in your kitchen what you are eating. So if you are consuming the canned version all along, drop it in the comments. Say, yes, so I've been consuming it. Don't need to worry. This is Healthy Food Place. We're here to learn from each other, and I'm here to particularly share my long-standing healthy body experience. I've been enjoying healthy body for a long time with no medications, no antibiotics, no similar things. So that is exactly what I'm sharing here to help us also to stay healthy, because knowledge is power. Most of these things are already in the food, but what we need is knowledge. That is what is lacking. And so let me hear from you. I'll be reading the comments. Let me know if you are still consuming the canned tomatoes and the sachet tomatoes, whether they are still prominent. Some of you, so you're always in your cupboard, fresh tomatoes and canned tomatoes. I'm waiting for your comments. Vivian Jensen and all of you who are still consuming canned tomatoes all the time, drop it in the comment. Let's see what we can talk about it. Maybe you may start looking for alternatives, what to do, because it's one of the foods you should be staying away from. I've left it more than 15, 16 years. I've left it more than 16 years. I've left it out of my diet for good. So, okay, you still do. Oh my God. All right, that's good enough. You still do. Yes. And you know that the sad story is that some of you, where you are, it is very convenient to get the canned tomatoes. Far more convenient. And it is difficult You know where we are, you can even plant it at your backyard. So, but after you have got the knowledge that the fresh versions are the best, especially if they are not the GMO. You know, one beautiful thing about the tomatoes is that it's something you can easily plant. It's a house plant. You can just use the water or the dry seed. You just pour it inside a small something, and before you know it, it's already growing, especially if it's the right soil that you are using. If it's the right soil, it doesn't grow to a very big tree. It's a small house plant like peppers. So it's something that people can easily plant around their backyard if you have the good soil, or you can go get the soil from somewhere. So I've received one comment saying she still do with the canned tomatoes. So I need more comment, please, if you are still taking it, so we know how to talk about it and whether to stay long on the subject or to just put it aside. We need to convince ourselves so that if you are already enjoying good, healthy body, you will continue to enjoy it. And if you are already sick, you may consider taking it out of your diet in case it is one of the sponsors of that ailment. Yes, you could be harboring the sponsor of the thing that is ailing you, not without knowing it. You could be hosting it in your diet. You could be harboring it in your diet, unknown to you. And that is the essence of knowledge. So let me get more responses. If you are still consuming it, or you already know these facts that I talked about, canned tomatoes, you already knew it before now, drop it in the comments. I want your response. I've already shared my own. Let me hear from you. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. So, Vivian address. Yes, I do for the sachet. Okay. Okay. That's good. You don't need, we need to be as frank as possible because this has to do with our health. So I want to, when you respond like this, it makes me know that I'm on point, that what I'm talking is relevant and is good. I talk about it because people have got to know the truth first. So if you know what I'm telling you, later on you can go and do your independent search and search and research and whatever to know whether what I'm saying is true, if you need to verify it. But like I told you, I didn't search for anything. It is something I discovered. These two things are things I discovered myself, and I have left them for good. And since then, I've been enjoying a healthy body without being on medication, without having to take any antibiotic to tackle any bacteria since 2010, to be very, very precise. That's about 16 years. So I have not been on any antibiotics to deal with any bacteria, but this is something I was always taking, almost 3 months, testing out each antibiotics to destroy bacteria and several things. But if you have the right knowledge about most of these foods, you will discover that they are your medicines. And that's why you need to get as much knowledge as you can. So let me get one or two more responses from my viewers and my participants, my subscribers. Don't forget to subscribe if you are coming this way for the first time. So, let me know if you are, comment if you are still consuming fresh tomatoes. Okay. Oh, thank you for that comment. Despite all the stress, yes, it's okay if that's your comment, and I appreciate your comment. But I'm not on any medication, whether for BP or for sugar. I am not. And I'm 62 years this year. And this is the life I've been living for about 16 years. And that was since I discovered the truth, this truth that I'm passing on to you. this life that I'm living. And I've not been on them, and I'm uploading some of these things that are working for me. Some of these things that have been helping to keep me strong. So I want you to comment if you are still taking the tin tomatoes or sachet one. Then it's time to start, if you believe what I'm teaching to be true, if you want to act on what I'm sharing with you, if you do not even have access to the fresh tomatoes, or you have been ignoring it, thinking the other one is more convenient, my dear, it may be time to start looking the other way. Say, maybe you're gonna try this, what Mama is talking about. Though I'm not sick, but I think it makes sense. If I can get this, because, let me share something about the fresh tomatoes. It's something that you don't need to eat too much. We haven't even talked about that. You don't have to eat too much of it. You better be careful. At the beginning of this life, I shared with you why you should not consume any food too much. Because when it shows up its ugly side, you may not like to eat that food again. I've heard people say, I will never eat that particular. I've even had some of these experiences, consuming certain foods in excess, either because I harvested them from my garden, or it's in season, it's cheap, or it was a gift that somebody just gifted me. I just, okay, let it not waste, let me enjoy it. And before you know it, your body begins to cry out that you are having too much of it. And if you are smart, the moment your body begins to show you some of these signals, the first thing is to look into your diet. Once you stop that thing, that sickness automatically begins to die. Because you need to feed any disease in order for you to survive. Anything you call disease, it requires you feeding it and sustaining it. And know the food they eat is sugar. They feed on sugar and carbohydrates. If you can now stop those ones, your body begins to heal. Thank you for those likes. Thank you for those likes. And I'm still waiting for 1 or 2 responses. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for you who are listening to me to comment if you are still consuming the other sachet tomatoes or the canned tomatoes. Me, I've put them behind since 2010. That's 16 years ago. They were, the reason obviously is because they were among the first changes I made to my diet when I began this journey into wellness, staying healthy naturally. They were among the very first decisions. These decisions were coming in stages. But taking out the fresh tomato, oh my God. Okay, somebody is gifting me just $1. Oh, great. I eat tomatoes every day. That's wonderful. Thank you so much for that gifting. I think I love it. Tomatoes every day. I love it. I love it. That's great. So I'm saying that, yes, let's talk about, thank you for those likes. Let's talk about the tomatoes, eating it regularly. It tastes great and it pairs well with a lot of green vegetables. And I also tell you the best time to eat it for me. The best time to eat it for me is morning time or noon. Now, every food has a best time to eat it. Now, every food has a best time to eat it. Okay, every food has a best time to eat it. So you don't just eat it at night. For me, it's not a night, very good food at night, except if you mix it with other green vegetables and it features in your soup, but not much. It features in your soup, just in small amount. So it's not a food you eat in large amount like that. Why? It has very high antioxidant content. And I told us Some of you don't know that when you have too much antioxidants too, your body begins also to say, give you some signals. But before we go to that, I want to hear from you, those of you that are listening to me. Comment and let me know if you are still consuming. You are talking of eating tomatoes every day. Is it the fresh tomatoes or the canned tomatoes? Just I can't call this a name, just it 1GE at just it 1GE. So what I'm saying is, let me know if it's fresh tomatoes you eat every day or the canned tomatoes. And let me know your age. You know why it's important? Sometimes you are consuming it, you do not have the symptoms. But now if you are privileged to come across this message I'm sharing, this live, you can make changes before your body begins to speak. Yes, you can make changes to these things if you already have the knowledge that they are not the best for you, and if you have the option to change to fresh versions, then you can make it. Some people could say that, oh, where they are, they can't get fresh tomatoes, and that's one of the biggest problems we're having in the world today. And there is a question I'm expecting someone to ask me. But if you don't ask me that question, I won't talk about it, about the fresh tomatoes. If somebody should ask me that question, I'm going to, highlight that person as a special person in this life, and particularly even in my channel. It's going to stand out. I'll find a way, I'll make sure you stand out as a special member of this channel, so that whenever you drop a comment, it will be highlighted for me to see it. That is a question I'm expecting someone to ask in this life about fresh tomatoes. And if you can get that to ask that question, I'll be very glad. So about the fresh tomatoes. But if you don't ask it, I'll leave it so as not to prolong this life to become too long. So let me hear from you, those of you, let me know if you are, still consuming the canned tomatoes or the sachet tomatoes, or even both. Let's know. Well, we need one more person to comment or two on that tomatoes, fresh tomatoes, if you are still cooking it. And this Jessie, this my gifter, I need also to know from you if it is fresh tomatoes you consume every day or the canned tomatoes. Okay, Nanda Guyo is asking whether it's good for our health. Yes, it's I've already said it at the beginning, but because of this, your question, I want to highlight it again. Some of the things I said is good for our health, but then some people are kind of having some, they do not, their body makeup do not accept food that belong to the Nightshade family, which tomatoes happen to be one of them. So some of them don't do well. And that is why I started this live by telling us that the first thing is to listen to your body. If you hear that, oh, fresh tomatoes is this, is that, it has anti-aging benefit, it's high in vitamin C, E, and other antioxidants, is great for your eyes, is very good for your heart, it's good for your blood pressure. These are the things that the fresh tomatoes does for you. It's good for you if you have constipation, if you want to lose weight, if you want your skin to look beautiful and firm, especially for seniors, if you want to support your prostate health because of the lycopene, you need to include fresh tomatoes, especially for men. A lot of things that the fresh tomatoes does for you, talking of the health benefits. But then, after saying all of this, I have again come to say that some people do not enjoy their body. It may be tasting great, doing other things for other people, but when they take it, any food that belongs to the group called Nightshades, they don't do well. Garden egg is one of them. There are a few foods like that. They react to it. So you must pay attention. What are the difference between fresh tomato and the canned one, ma'am? Okay, I already said it before. I have said that the fresh one, the canned one, because of the can they use, contains leaches, the BPA and other things from the can, leaches into the tomatoes, making it not healthy. If you are one that is battling inflammations, it's going to make your inflammation worse. Now, I'm telling you the difference between the canned tomatoes. The canned tomatoes contain some chemicals that leaches from the cans or from the sachets. Now, some people who are sickle cell anemia, some certain ailments, their doctors do warn them not to take tomato in sachet or such foods. So, but we're not going to go deeper into that. But I also told us the source of my decision 16 years ago when I was fighting to take back my health. When I was struggling with a lot of ailments, like I was dealing with stomach ulcers, typhoid, malaria, in fact, a lot of other things. So my body was something I could not even explain until I began to take out some of the foods from my diet, taking out things like fried foods. It was among the first things I took out. Among other first things I took out was these canned foods, because anytime I took it then, okay, look at those with certain ailments like that. They must be careful with foods like that. Must be very choosy and selective. Please don't joke with, because I have been with somebody with sickle cell and I've seen how it happens. I've been with those during their crisis moments. So they need to be very selective and choosy about the food. Don't just be eating food in sachet, like all this tomato sachet. It may not be good. It's not usually good for such people. So they need to eat food that their body will take in naturally. Because what actually the canned tomatoes does, it fuels up inflammations. Inflammation is always a forerunner to many diseases. If you are one that is going through pains, it's going to make it worse. Like arthritis pains, or you're having joint problems, issues. Even the fresh tomatoes, when you take it too much, if you're one that is having joint pains, you need to be careful with fresh tomatoes. I want you to pay attention. If one that is going through joint pains, please, or is giving you signals, my dear, be careful with nightshades. Not only the fresh tomatoes, all the nightshade family, including the garden egg. Be very selective about these foods, because they are going to make these problems worse. The joint problem will be worse. The arthritis will be worse if you consume nightshades like garden eggs, or they call it eggplants, tomatoes. So tomatoes, for those people going through such these elements, should be consumed just like 2 or 3 small inside the food with other vegetables. Thank you for that, right? So it should be, and the beautiful thing about fresh tomatoes that I like, if you are one that likes to make your stew with it, you can add it in small, or add other vegetables. or add other green vegetable particularly. You can add your water leaf, you can add your green, you can add your moringa, you can add other spinach. You can add it with, it goes well when you mix it because of its low calorie. So when you cook your stew with it, because it is actually the stew that a lot of people use the tomato to cook. For instance, in my own case, there are soups that I use the fresh tomatoes to cook. Fruits that comes with fat, like my sesame seed soup. I add fresh tomatoes because fresh tomatoes is best absorbed when you add healthy fats like olive oil. So, because the antioxidant is high. So it's not a food you just be eating, some people eating it like that, no fat, no. If you are cooking, if you are those that love, one of those that love melon soup, and all such soups that comes with fat, it will be good if you put some tomatoes in it to help it absorb it and to supply the antioxidant that it needs to balance it, because you need your body and your nutrition to be balanced at all times. So the tomatoes, fresh tomatoes and the canned tomatoes are not the same because of the cans that come with it. That can destroys most of the benefits, and I practically discovered it in my body before I stopped it. And since then, I have been sharing that message. That is, those of you who are following me on WhatsApp, who are following me on any platform, including TikTok, anywhere you are following me, if you go through my post, you will discover that I have been speaking against, or I have been making my position on the consumption of canned tomatoes known publicly. And the choice is yours. Now, if you taste it and you notice what I'm saying, okay. But even if you do not notice it, you do not have to also ignore it, because some people are not gifted. That's what I noticed. Some people are not gifted to, being very sensitive, understanding and knowing what their body is saying. Because I have actually interacted with a couple of people on my findings with certain, but they say they don't feel anything. So I don't have to assume that because I'm able to feel it, to find it out myself, that every other person will feel that way. Some people eat something that is not healthy, they don't even feel it. They don't even know. Whether it's causing inflammation, they don't know. So that is why sometimes when you listen to, live sessions like this, and you gain such knowledge, you know that it's very useful for you. Maybe you are going through some diseases, or maybe you are going through pains, inflammations, or you are even a sickle cell, or you have one around you, and you have been cooking with tomatoes, and the person have been having crisis. You may have to go and look, especially sachet tomatoes. Sometimes the person could be feeling like a lot of symptoms. Let me just put it, it could differ from individuals. But then, it's not a healthy way to consume the fresh tomatoes. It's one of the things you should avoid. And I started avoiding it as far back as 2010. That's about 16 years now. And since then, it's been all good for me. So you have to, if you have access to the fresh tomatoes, it's a better and healthier option. And you must also consume it in moderation, because moderation is our rule. So you don't have to. So you have seen, okay, Vivian, are you okay with the difference? Can we use moringa to cook soup, ma'am? Why not? You use it to cook stew. It goes well with stew. You can use, but don't use it in large amounts. Now, the best way to use moringa to make soup is as a fortifying something. That's how I choose to use it. You just get a little handful of the moringa, wash it and crush it, or you blend it to smooth and add it like you are fortifying your food with vitamins and minerals, especially if you have a lot of children or you are in a place where you, it just it doesn't even have to do with children, but it's best for people who cannot afford too much of the meat for the children to eat. So, and you need them to have all the nutrients and to be healthy. You then have to fortify the food with moringa to make sure they are looking healthy and hearty, they are getting complete amino acids, even with the meat absent and all of that they still get the complete amino acids and they are looking well. And then for those of us who are seniors, who are trying to get all the nutrients, who are avoiding a lot of food because of our health, who are avoiding too much sugars, too much calories, avoid this, don't eat milk, don't eat too much meat. And those people in that category, they can fortify their food. As a matter of fact, I fortify my stew from time to time, not all the time, with moringa leaves. For cooking things like rice, I use it. Cooking some foods like that contains oil. Now, moringa leaves is another leaf that is good when the food is coming with oil. It's one of the vegetables that helps your body to tackle excess fat. You can write this one down, whether the fat is healthy fat or not healthy fat. If you're trying to deal with it, then take on moringa to fortify your food. Don't gather moringa as a vegetable. I don't know whether you are getting me. Who is asking that question? I'm saying, okay, I'm saying do not gather lots of moringa. It's a blood thickener. Just the way you will gather other vegetables. Do not gather it and say that is the only vegetable you want to use. Now, moringa is best when you are cooking food or soup that contains fat. Yes. Now, those of you that like egusi soup, I shared it in my channel that I've stopped egusi soup many years ago. What I take instead is the sesame seeds, which is lower in calorie. The older you get, the more you'll be running away from food that are higher in calorie. Once you know any food that you love, you used to love, and you see a lower calorie version of that food, go for it. Your body will thank you. Because one of the big challenges we're having as seniors is reducing the calorie in our diet. And that's why the talk on fresh tomatoes today is a good one. Because one of the low-calorie vegetables that is good when you want to manage a lot of ailments, especially when you take it in moderation. Yes, when you take it in moderation. If you are suffering arthritis and all these joint inflammations and pains, you need to be careful with foods like tomatoes, fresh tomatoes, and foods like eggplant and garden eggs like that. You want to be very, very careful with such nightshades. And if you are looking for whether to use moringa to cook soup, don't go gather it. It's very dense. Don't go gather moringa like you gather your pumpkin leaves or gather your spinach or you gather your water leaf or other leaves or whatever. Don't go gather, do not go gather moringa like that. Because if you ever take too much moringa, I made a video on it. You can go see it on my channel. You may never want to eat moringa again. What I'm telling you is exactly what I titled that very video. And in that very video, I have seen comments. Somebody commented that she strongly agreed with my position. That she has seen somebody who pied because of after eating moringa. And that's why you do not have to just hear something on internet or social media and just, oh, this food is like this, and you just start consuming. You need to be well informed or educated about the other side of it. Yes, there is no food. You must get adequate information. Most of the food I'm consuming today, I've started gathering knowledge about them for many years, and I wasn't even consuming them. You need to get adequate knowledge on the particular food before you just start gradually, not just rush. You start gradually to incorporate it into your diet. Not just, you need to start teaching your body. You know, your body is a living organism. Sometimes it's used to certain food. But your body, let me talk a little about your body, our body. Our body loves variety. Yes, anytime you bring out new food, especially those that are not sweet, those that it needs to work with, those healing foods that you have not been consuming before, honestly, if it's a good one, your body will thank you for it. If it has a way, it can thank you, because some of such foods, immediately you consume them, sometimes you see yourself dozing off, sleeping. It's a way of your body thanking you. And for most of us who are seniors, when you consume a food that you have not been consuming before, and you see that calmness and notice yourself dozing, honestly, you should go and write that food down. And if you are giving it as a gift or something, you later go look for it yourself. That dosing is a way of your body thanking you, and it's a way of your body communicating to you that this food you just brought in is good though. We may need to bring it in again. Now, if you are also consuming a particular food every day, maybe you have it in your garden or you have it in your farm, and so every day you are consuming it, after some time too, your body is already fed up of it. It's no longer, it doesn't like it again. It just wants something new. This is exactly what happens with our body. No wonder they say variety, they say, is a spice of life. So you need to thank you for those likes. Thank you. I love that. That's beautiful. So you need to, bring in variety. We, especially those of us in this African culture, it's very difficult, including my humble self. We find it difficult to bring in variety into our diet because our body, we like to remain with those foods that we are used to. I remember many years ago when I was first served with salads, it was tasting so, it's something I never liked. Salad is a healthy food. When you use it right, it's a raw healthy food. But the first time I was served salad, I didn't eat it. I just did like this. Next time, it was not good. Why? Because my body wasn't used to it. But those who were used to it, they say, bring your own portion. They were taking mine and adding to theirs and eating and enjoying themselves. But I was wondering, how are they enjoying this food that is not tasting good? This food that is sour? No, it is only because my body was just learning it, how to eat it. And today, it's one of my best delicacies, especially when prepared at home. The same food I was avoiding. So that is how it is. You must learn to bring in occasionally. It's not easy. It's something that a good number of us seem to be guilty of it. You just want to be comfortable with, swallow. I want to eat amala and ewedu. I want to eat egusi and this. I want to eat this. I want to eat that. We find it difficult. Sometimes maybe because of the time. I don't know. But like in my own case, maybe I may not have much time. But if you have the time, my dear, if you have all it takes to give your body variety, now take it from me, your body loves it. It loves it a lot. And sometimes if your body could speak to you, it will tell you thank you. Thank you for bringing in this food. Thank you for relieving me of this boredom of every morning, bread and tea with milk. Every morning, bread and tea with coffee. Every morning, bread and tea with coffee. That's what some of us do. Sometimes we won't say, oh, let me do some fermented grains this morning to boost my gut health, to boost my digestive health. Some of you don't even take fermented food at all because they are usually sour. They take time to prepare. They are sour in the mouth. They're not sweet. So a good number of us, we want more breakfast cereals. We want morning cereals, something you will just, make it very fast and eat. But I tell you, the healthiest of the foods, they take time, my dear. For you to get a fermented millet, it has to take like 3 days. So it's not something you just go to the supermarket and you purchase. It takes a solid 3 days of you changing the water, then going to the grinder, grinding and then sieving and do all the processes before. But when you finish it, it's a medicine. I already shared about it also on my channel. So it's something that if you have some emergencies, it could help you resolve it. Whether you are diabetic or not, whether you are managing high blood pressure or whatever, it can help you. Even stomach ulcers. Foods like fermented millet. I had used it. It was among the first healing foods. But before then, I didn't know what was millet. Before I started experiencing things like stomach ulcers and similar conditions. So it was never part of my diet. So some of you don't take fermented foods. You don't include variety into your diet. Thank you for those likes. Thank you for those likes. Appreciate it. Thank you for those likes. So you don't include fermented foods. You just love those food that we call them fast foods, like noodles and pastas. I hope you're no longer taking them. I've put them away for many years. So some of you want those food that are very fast to prepare. Those food are made in the factory, not from the farm. So that when you just put it on the fire, 2 minutes is ready. If you are still eating those kind of food, my dear, it's time to look again to your diet. Maybe that ailment you have been battling or struggling or taking communications, is just a few changes to your diet. And you'll be free, just as I became free several years ago from all those medications. So let me hear from you in the house. I think, are you okay with that response on moringa? Vivian Jensen, are you okay with my response on moringa? Are you okay with that? My response on moringa. Please comment, let me know. Okay, I'm seeing Cloudy Akaluwe. You are welcome to the house. Let me know where you are also chatting from, Cloudy Akaluwe. Let me know where your location is. Please, very, very important. Drop it in the comment. Drop it in the comment. Let me know. Drop it in the comments. Yes. Yes, I am waiting. Are you okay with the response on moringa and your soup? Use it sparingly, just small amount, to use to fortify it. Don't use it like other vegetables because it's too dense in nutrition. Some of the nutrients that are loaded there, it is said to have over 300 anti-inflammatories. So it's not something that your body may be able to handle when you put them in large amounts. So it's not something your body may be able to handle. So you just use it a little. That's what I do. So Vitus Priscilla, you are welcome to the house. Where are you chatting from? Priscilla, where are you chatting from? I'm waiting. Where are you chatting from? I'm waiting. Priscilla, hi, you are welcome to my live chat. You are welcome to my live chat. Where are you chatting from? Yes. Waiting for your comment at Vitus Priscilla. I'm waiting for your response. I'm waiting. Drop your comment. Let me know your location. I'm glad to have you in the house. I'm waiting. Priscilla, what's up? Hi. Let me know your location, please. Drop it in the comments. I was responding to Vivian Jensen, who said, can we use moringa to cook soup? Please, I'm still waiting. Are you okay with the response of moringa? Please, let me know so that I can move to the next person. Okay, from Canada. You are welcome. This is someone else, Noni Coolette. Sorry if I'm not getting that correctly. You are chatting from Canada. I'm glad to have you, my friend from Canada. But Vitus Priscilla, let me know your location too. I'm still waiting for your response, please. I'm waiting. And then I'm also waiting for you, Vivian Jensen, who you were asking on moringa. So let me know if you're satisfied with my response. I'm still waiting for that. So we move. Yes, somebody else. Kimberly. Hi, you are saying hi. Let me know where you are chatting from, Kimberly, please. This is Grace, Enemali, Gracious Grace. You're welcome to my live chat, and I'm glad to have you in the house. I'm talking on one of our most commonly consumed vegetables, the fresh tomatoes, and two things you just have to avoid about it. What is deer? I'm reading something there. Kimberly, deer, what is deer? Please, can you let me know what that comment represents, please? What is it talking about? I'm waiting. Kimberly, you're welcome to my live chat. Monique Coolette, you're welcome from Canada. I'm also appreciating you, Vivian Jensen, for all your comments, your contributions. And also Chris Clark, you're welcome also. Where are you chatting from? Chris Clark, I'm waiting. Yes, I'm here from USA, Kimberly. Okay, you can also comment. I'm talking on fresh tomatoes and two things to avoid. And I already said you should avoid the canned versions and should avoid keep grinding and keeping them, without putting it on the heat or fire or being refrigerated. That when these foods, fresh versions of these foods, interact with oxygen, something else happens to your loved healthy food. It may no longer be what you are eating or what you are thinking. Foods like onions behaves that way. So you don't have to cut them open and expose them while cooking. You need to put them right away into your pot, cooking pot, or you get them refrigerated. But not all of them are even okay for refrigeration. Foods like fresh onions, they are best when you cut them immediately and put them inside the soup. Foods like fresh tomatoes, look at it. They are best when you cut and put right inside your soup, or you eat it right away so that you get the taste. So that is the summary of this live, and I have been taking questions from all directions. Anything you want me to tackle or assist you, because on this channel, I talk about how you can take back your health. Just like I took back my health several years ago and have been enjoying a healthy body. And this is exactly what I'm sharing with people, not being on medication, not being on antibiotics. Even though I'm over 60, I've been enjoying a healthy body. And then this is something I'm sharing with my subscribers, my followers, and my fans. Those who desire to live a healthy life. Those of you who want to avoid too much medications, especially as seniors. Those of you who want to acquire knowledge concerning foods, healthy foods. Those of you who want to start taking foods as your medicine, just the way I am doing. So those of you who want to avoid diseases like high blood sugar, high blood pressure, or if you're already experiencing it, those of you who want to reverse it, because these diseases are reversible if you eat the right food, if you give your body the right food, so that you can start enjoying. Thank you for those likes. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. I need more likes and I need more shares, please, of this live, so that more people will come gain and start enjoying a healthy body, because it is the greatest asset. If you have everything and you lose your health, you have nothing. So let's share this message. Let's share this channel. And then don't forget to subscribe, because I tell you the truth, exactly what is working for me. And so I need your comments, and I need you to also let me know if there is any aspect that I should attend to or respond to. Even though it may not have to do with the tomatoes, I will be glad to take it. We have just 15 more minutes. 15 more minutes to end the chat. So that, or less than that. 15 minutes. Thank you, Philomena. Philo Ogbene. From where are you chatting? Good afternoon. You're welcome to the house. Philo Ogbene, you are welcome. Where are you chatting from? This is Grace Enemali. Yes. Where are you chatting from? Yes. I'm waiting for your response, Philo Ogbene 6038. And then let me have your comment. Are you still consuming canned tomatoes? That's the question on the table. Canned tomatoes or sachet tomatoes, are you still consuming it? I've left it long ago. I'm waiting for your response. I'm waiting. Yes, I'm waiting. Your comments. Yes, I'm waiting. I am waiting. Wow, wow, wow. I've gotten some gift in here. 3.7K. That's lovely. That's wonderful. That's encouraging. That's impressive. So let me get your comments. Let me get your responses, please. Because I'm not always here. That is the news. Something I must let you know. So let's do, I could have done this live some few days ago, but network was bad. Couldn't do it. I couldn't go live. So I'm here, please. Let's drop our questions. Let's talk about those things. Let's talk on them. I can assist you using my own life experience. Philo, I have not heard from you. I'm still waiting for you. Kimberly from USA, I'm still waiting for your comment, your response to my questions. I'm waiting. Drop your comments. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Philo Ogbene, I'm waiting. Kimberly 18, I'm waiting. Let me know if you are still consuming canned tomatoes. I've already told you the difference between the canned tomatoes, the fresh tomatoes. There are things and the things you must avoid about them, and then other things also that you must note when you are managing or having to deal with natural foods, fresh foods. You must be aware of some of these things. Once you cut them down, they begin to interact. Oxygen begins to interact. They begin to interact with oxygen. So you do not have to cut a good number of them down and just leave them without putting them to immediate use, because it may not be exactly what you are expecting after some time. So you don't have to just leave it like that. So thank you for the likes. I'm seeing those likes. Appreciate it. Thank you for those likes. Thank you for those likes. You are welcome. Thank you for the likes. Yes. Yes. Let's drop our comments. Let's drop our comment. Let's drop our comments. Let's drop our comments. I'm still waiting to take your comment on these subjects. And if you have others, I'll be glad to also take it. Or else, we shall be ending it. We're about to end the live. I'm about to end the live session. I'm about to end it. Since you are no longer, you are not commenting, you are not dropping a question, any question, I'm giving us notice. Okay. I'm waiting for your comment. I'm waiting for your response. Philo Ogbene, why am I not hearing from you? Are you in the house? Kimberly, are you in the house? Chris Clark, are you in the house? Philo Ogbene, you said or state. I don't get that. What is state? What is state? What do you mean by yes? Please be more explicit on your response, on your comment. Let me get it right. Let me get the comment, please. Let me get your comment clear, Philo Ogbene. What do you mean by that? Or state, and then yes. Hello. Okay, I'm getting it. Someone is saying name that video said, you said about the tomato, but what about the onions? I've already talked about the onions, and I told us that the onions behaves also the same way. I told you that Yes, you admit that you have understood what I said about the tomatoes, and I said the onions is another food that you must be careful when consuming. I think I should be showing us a fresh onions also, though it's not part of this thing. Maybe during the next session. Let's leave it for another session. I mean, talking of showing you the onions, but I believe that a good number of us know it. And so I'm saying that when you are cutting it, buy the sizes that you can consume at a stretch. Don't cut it and leave it. Okay. Don't cut. Look at your onions like this. Look at this size of onions. Don't cut it and leave it down and say, oh, like you are preparing other foods. Don't cut the onions and put it. Immediately you remove the peels. This is purple onions. Immediately you remove these peels and wash it. Cut it straight away into your pot. Do not cut it and keep it. It's going to start interacting with oxygen and start attracting bacteria and germs. And what you may be eating, surprisingly, may be poisonous without you knowing it. This is something I know very well. I've come to agree and find it out myself that the best thing, these are the sizes I buy. Look at it. And now, when I use one like this, I finish it. Don't cut your onions like this in the middle and say, okay, let me keep the half. I'll use it later. It's another wrong way to use it. Buy the size that you can use at once, or in case it's too small, you can use two. If you like, depending on the size of what you are cooking, you can use two. But then don't cut it halfway and keep the other one to be used next time. That is a mistake. Don't do that. Because once you expose it, you cut it, oxygen starts interacting with it. And bacteria it's a very super food. It's a healing food. A majority of them behaves just that way. The tomatoes is the subject of today's discussion. Nobody seems to be talking about the tomatoes' behavior when you grind it. As a matter of fact, somebody was suggesting in a video that I watched online that people should grind tomatoes and allow it to sit so that it can settle or so, just for some other reasons. But most important reason is to have your health preserved. The fresh tomatoes, fresh onions you asked about. Once you cut it, you remove it, cut it, make sure the time you are cutting it, your soup is already on the fire, and make sure you cut it directly into the fire, or you slice it, whether you are using machine. Some of you are using automated machines. We use knife to cut our own here. But if you are using anything, make sure you don't allow minutes to pass before you put it inside the soup. Or else, my dear, if you keep it on the ground, waiting like other ingredients, you lose the benefit. And not only will you lose the benefits, you consume some bacteria without you knowing it. And this also applies with onions when you are trying to use it for any remedy like toothache. It's one of the kitchen spices that you should not allow to be absent in your kitchen. These onions. It's a medicinal spice. Whether you have toothache urgently, whatever remedy you want to use it for, do not cut it, expose and keep it. Immediately you cut it, put it right into that point where the teeth is open, whether it's your eyes you are using, because the power lies in that is those things that make your eye to shed tears when you cut it immediately. These are the most powerful, the agent that makes it to stand out. So when those things are gone, the bacteria is what is attracting around the environment. It's great for you if you are managing flu, arthritis, cold, a lot of things, these onions. So don't just take it as any of the other kitchen spice, slice it and leave it exposed and say, I'm be getting ready with other kitchen. No. Do every other thing, but once your soup is ready, That's the time to cut it right into your soup. I hope that has answered your question. Eh? Namadi Mamadi Bio. Are you okay with that? Are you all right with that response? Are you okay? Let me know whether you're okay with that. Let me know whether you're okay with that. Okay, let's call it a day. We shall be calling it a day in a few moments from now because I'm not getting any more questions. But if you have any, I'll be glad to take it again. I've already responded. Okay, good information, Jason. Thank you for your comment. But you didn't tell me the information you are responding to, whether the information on the onions or the information on the tomatoes. You didn't tell me the specific one or all the information. And besides that, you didn't tell me where you are commenting from. Isalin Jackson. Where are you commenting from, Jackson? Where are you commenting from? I'm waiting. I'm waiting for your response. Where are you commenting from? I'm waiting. Yes. Said good information. Where are you commenting from? Yes. Jackson. It's Salin Jackson. Your location, please. Because we're about to end the live now. So I want to take out this time to thank all of you for coming. I want to appreciate all of you for being here, for tuning into my channel, and for your participation, your comments. Okay, from the Commonwealth of Dominica. Oh my God, oh my God. I'm excited to have you in the house. From the Commonwealth of Dominica. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the live, and I also enjoy all of you. And by the grace of God, next week, which begins from tomorrow, I'll be here again for us to chat on, to talk on healthy body, healthy foods, and to share my experience, how you and I can enjoy healthy body, continue to enjoy healthy body through natural foods. That's exactly what we talk about here. Once again, thank you for coming. Thank you for the gifting. Those of you who have gifted me, thank you for the gift. Thank you for staying tuned. Thank you for your comment. From Commonwealth of Dominica, my friend from France, my friends from US, my friend from Canada. I want to thank all of you for gifting me. Thank you, my friend, all of you. My friend from Scotland. Thank you all. And those of you who have not responded or said anything about your location, I thank all of you for coming. And it's time to say bye. See you again. Don't forget to hit the subscription button. Healthy Food Place. and you must keep staying healthy naturally. See you again, and bye for now.